curious to know how you look at or bring out ways for people to pull into each other, to tap into each other. How do you facilitate that conversation to get them so that it doesn't look like, I don't know what I'm doing, but it is, this is new. Hey, come here and help me. How do you do that?
In our company, in a lot of operation environments, you'll have shift change meetings, you'll have daily meetings with teams, and so it's in those opportunities that you talk about maybe issues that happened on the previous shift, things to watch for coming forward, and maybe if things are running well, maybe it's a situation that's brought up that says, hey, as we're going into maybe a time of turnaround where we're doing some more intensive or extensive maintenance or repair or replacement, what are some things that we might look for? What are some things that they do? So I think it's in those opportunities when they're able to have some of that face-to-face time when they can really kind of hone those skills, have those conversations. And again, we're not pulling people away. We're not having formal training events, but it's those 10 or 15 minute conversations that occur naturally within the flow of their work that really help them to advance those skills and their thought process.
Sure. So when I came in, I was a very brand new engineer, and I had an idea that, I had to submit all of my ideas and drawings and everything to management so that they could approve them. My boss and I went over this a while ago, but it became, or just a little bit after I started, and it became very evident to me that, something wasn't clicking. And so I kept on asking him and prodding him. He'd tell me, hey, why don't you just go talk to this person? Why are you working on this instead of that? And it came out a little while later that my boss's view was very, very different. And coming in as a junior engineer, you think that you have to prove yourself. And then he told me the secret. At SpaceX, almost everybody is a stockholder. So the adjustment for the worldview that he gave me was, hey, look, you're a stockholder. You should take actions that benefit the company, bottom line. And no matter what you do, if you act in the interest of the company's bottom line, nobody will fault you for it. So that was sort of the adjustment. It was, okay, instead of thinking, I have to get approval for everything, I have to sort of respect the process. Instead, what I said was, what he granted me was the ability to just go out there and just say, hey, I know this is going to be good for the company. I know that this is the priority of the company. I can explain my case pretty thoroughly, and I'll just go for it. If I need to talk to upper management, yeah, go ahead. So just that sort of shift in thinking really helped me in my career.
Can you still recall some of those key questions?
Well, I remember the basic one. Do you have authority to borrow?
Okay.
Apparently, that's major.
You have authority to borrow. Okay.
And there were questions about what kind of collateral do you have, and if you don't have any, then we had to get into questions that would elicit character, and ways to confirm that. I mean, one of the senior bankers said it's character, creditworthiness, and something else, but he made a big deal about character. How have they worked in the past? And another thing was to ask about, this was for lending, how did they do when things went badly? People don't want to tell you about that when you're taking a loan or asking for a loan. But the assumption was, if they can handle something, good times are easy. Everybody can handle those. But what'd you do when there was a real recession or something? And how did you handle that? And get questions that would really force them to give you some data and some numbers on how they handled a bad thing. If they can handle a bad thing, they can probably handle your loan. If they just tell you about all their great stuff, probe.